Band name?
Ted from Amon Amarth.
Hey, and I'm Tito from Shockwave Magazine here in Mayhem Fest 2013 in Jiffy Lube in Bristol, Virginia. Ted, tell me, how is Mayhem treating you when it comes to debauchery, evilness, and just pure blood dripping awesomeness?
Well, I mean, as you say, I mean, this is an awesome festival to be on. I mean, this is crazy traveling around with all these bands, partying every night, throwing these metal mixers. Like last night we had fire breathers and whatever, you know, it's just crazy being out. But it's great. And the heat is killing us Scandinavians. We can't take this.
Yeah, I bet you. Do you guys like crank up the air conditioning like on ridiculously like low temperatures in your buses?
No,
you guys keep it Arctic up in there?
No, actually try not to, because that will make me sick after a while. You know?
Oh yeah.
We can't afford having our singer's voice going.
Yeah.
We have to try to keep it on the low, but I mean we would love to have it freezing cold.
What shows have stood out? We're at the midpoint now, right? When you think about from beginning to end on this tour, which city, which show so far stood out to where you're just like, seriously, that was just fucking nutty?
I mean, there have been a bunch of really great shows. A few of the ones I remember. I think the first one, San Bernardino.
San Bernardino?
Yeah, that was a kick-ass show. In Denver was a great show too.
Was it the people? Was it was it a fire was set? Was it a riot? Was it a?
No, I mean it's just like, at least for us, you know, we had a great crowd. Things were just going on because we're opening up the main stage, and sometimes, you know, people are just, when we go on, people just start to come from the second stage and the third stage. So I mean, some of the shows where the people just there from the beginning, and we have a kick-ass show. Those are the best show for us, of course. Mm-hmm. And I think tonight we always have a good crowd here in this area, so I think this is going to be kick-ass for us, hopefully.
Oh, hopefully. What time do you guys go on this evening?
I think it's about 6:25.
6:25.
Yeah.
And when you guys in where you're from in Scandinavia, do you guys do the festivals like this, if not even bigger, right? Over there,
the festivals are bigger in Europe, but we don't have the traveling versions like you have here, which is a totally cool experience. It's like these two completely different things. I mean, we can play a festival in Germany in front of 80,000, which is really cool, but here you get to travel with all the bands, and you get to know everybody really cool, and it's, as I said, all the cool parties and stuff. It just makes it so much more cool, you know.
Tell me what a typical groupie looks like. Typical.
I don't think there are any typical.
No,
they could be. I mean, like you have this picture of a group like.
No, when it comes to, I mean, yeah, of course, we all know what groupies look like. I'm saying like the ones that pass the ones that pass your guard. What are the qualifications for a groupie to have to pass your guard?
I mean,
hoping we're not married.
Well, we're all occupied in our bands, but with Facebook and internet like today, the groupie market's sort of disappearing more or less, because
got like groupies and CD sales. Which one would you bring back first? Real question: groupies or CD sales?
I guess since I'm married, I would prefer the CD sales to come back.
Gotcha.
But I mean, they're both connected. When CD sales go back up, the girls will come back too.
They are. That's true. No, it's a symbiotic relationship to a certain degree. Listen, if you had not chosen to go down the journey of this path that you're on, musician in an established band touring the world, if you hadn't have done that, what would you be doing today?
That's a good question. I have no idea. I mean, I spent the last 20 years in this band, so But I mean, I guess I love metal, so I would still be a metal fan like I am today. I would go to the shows. Nowadays, I guess I don't go to too many shows because I'm always out playing myself. But I would be like a metalhead and working as whatever I was doing before.
What were you doing before?
I'm a painter, construction painter. So I used to paint buildings and shit like that. And I guess that's what I still would do. I like to work with my hands, like doing creative stuff. And checking that's what I would.
So who's the prankster troublemaker in the band? Who's the one that's usually gonna be 9 times out of 10 the one going, guys, I need someone to bail me out. I don't know where I'm at, but I need you to bail me out.
Probably be me.
That be you?
Yeah, I think so. I'm the clown in the band. I'm the one who.
Are you guys play it safe when you're out in the States, or is it still kind of get wild out around here?
No, when we try to. I mean, this is a job. I mean, we have to make sure we be able to do the whole tour, you know, without getting into too big of a trouble. So, I mean, yeah, we're drinking less than we used to do in the past. Trying to take it a bit more serious. People actually pay to see us play. I mean, we have to make sure we're on stage on time and we're sober enough to do what we're supposed to. So.
Is it a lot of pressure? Do you feel a lot of pressure in opening the main stage and knowing that you got to be good or you won't be back? So it's a lot. Do you feel pressured, or is it just like?
I mean, I know, like we know what to do. I mean, we do our thing, and it's just a matter of we're more like excited to get out there and show the stuff more than feeling a pressure. You know, it's just we get pumped, you know, to go out there and kick ass.
So you still have fun playing your songs more than anything else, then
I mean, we wouldn't be out touring if we didn't love this shit. I mean, it's. I mean, sometimes you know you play in daylight. It's only 35 minutes set, and sometimes you know you have this seatings, you know, all the way to the front. I mean, you don't really get that that really energy, and then you really have to make yourself get in that mood. So, but I mean, we've done this. We've been touring for almost like 15 years now. So I mean, this is we know how to do this to make it fun if it's boring one night, or just to get the energy when the energy is lacking. You know, you have to push yourself. But we know how to do that.
When you speak about your 15 years of touring, do you how did you branch out of your home country? What kind of logistics did you have to overcome? And was it tours through Scandinavia, or is it places like throughout? I would imagine more than just that.
I mean, actually, we never really toured in Sweden. We got big in like central part of Europe, Germany, Austria, and that was all like where we started to grow big. You know, so all the tours we had to fly out to Germany, for example, and do the tours there. And it's like it took us a few years before our touring actually reached up to Scandinavia to be able to tour our own home countries. And I mean, it's just it's not very tricky. You just jump on a plane and you bring your guitar, and then the rest is organized anyways.
Yeah. Well, there's a guerrilla approach to it here in the States, where you just, because of the way that we were arranged, to where, you know, a lot of times you'll find people that have spent the last 10 years just rolling around the States, never even thought about crossing into another country or getting onto an airplane, because there's so many. American band is just go around here. Yeah.
But I mean, it took a while before we got the chance to go over here.
Yeah. How long did it take you to get to the States?
I think the first time we did this day was like 2001 or 2002 maybe, and then we already been touring for like probably 5 years in Europe. And then it was just like over for one festival. We did this Milwaukee Metal Fest, I think it was called. And then a few years later, we got our first real tour. We were supposed to play with Marduk, another Swedish band, but they didn't get into the country because of legal matters or whatever. Didn't get the visa, so we had to do it ourselves. I mean, we started small and then we've been growing here over the years. So now we can actually do our own headlines tour, and they're doing good, and we play decent venues. It's good, and hopefully this experience will make us even bigger, so we can do even bigger tours in the future.
Do you have a new CD coming out, or
Yeah, it's just out. It just came out right when this tour started, so it's kind of perfect timing. So this is like promoting the new album, this tour.
anything you can want to tell me about the new album and the process in which you came, the process in which making that album, or?
I mean, it's like this is standard procedures for us. We took half year off from last album after touring that album to the finish. We decided to take like half year off, just writing songs and just gathering in the rehearsal room and doing what we usually do. And then when the album was done, we went to a studio in England, recording with the producer Andy Sneap, who's a like kick-ass producer, and it was great. It was the first time we worked with him. Totally experienced guy. We had so much fun recording that. And I mean, we come from the same kind of musical background, so we just kick around cool ideas all the time in the studio, and the results we're really happy with that.
Awesome. Well, is there anything you want to tell the fans that I haven't really touched on, or anything that you think is important for them to know?
Well, we'll be back soon for a headline tour, hopefully early next year, so make sure you're going to be there.
Absolutely. Well, Horns Up, Shockwave Magazine thanks you, Baltimore thanks you, and I thank you. Thank you very much. Tito for Shockwave, and hope you guys do well.